Sweet. What's your name?
Luke.
Luke. And what do you do, Luke?
I'm an artist.
Artist. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so this is perfect. I'm sure you'll have a great answer for this. You look fine. But what war are you in that the rest of the world doesn't know about?
The war that I fight, I think most prevalently in my life, is a spiritual war. I think, I think humans, I think inherently, I was born with a more sensitivity to the large question marks in life. You know, understanding to the greater, why, like the existential shit stuff. Um, and yeah, I do a lot of spiritual maintenance to maintain that and like find a good balance and live in a good place within that.
We have that in common, Luke. Uh, what is one of your most beneficial spiritual practices that you've discovered?
Yeah. I think gratitude is the biggest thing for me. I have a lot of peace and a lot of serenity in my life, and I think the foundation of that comes from an acknowledgement and an understanding and an internalization of the idea that as inherently as a human being, specifically in this moment, I am whole and complete on like a need based, very basic, almost primal level. Like I know where I'm sleeping tonight, and I have food and water over there with some friends. You know, so like I will survive today, God willing. Like pending any impending doom, like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like my basic necessities are met, and if I when I approach my life from that level of like I'm good, my needs are met. Now I can chase my wants. I find a lot of peace. It's when my wants get placed higher than my needs on my list that I start to, you know, that's where the fears come in and the overthinking and the I'm not this, I'm not enough, I don't have this, and that's when I can spiral. But if my foundation is strong in I am whole and complete right now, where do we go from here? I think I find a lot of peace in
I love that. What I would say was the inciting incident that led you to this gratitude?
that. I think there's a level of there was an educational variety in my life. Like I have teachers and I have mentors that you know point me in that direction. I get gratitude lists from some friends every morning. They just keep me in check in that capacity. I think trial and error too. I think it may be just me specifically, but a lot of people I know, like I'm the kind of guy like I gotta touch the stove to know that it's hot. Like you can't just tell me. So that like I also do what works. So like if I am focusing on gratitude and I am living in a place of appreciation for what I have and that my needs are met, like I feel better. So I'm gonna chase feeling better. You know what I mean? So once I see that it starts to work, I'm gonna just do it more.
There you go. And then that reward system is kind of self-sustaining.
Yeah.
You know, you get the small victory, and it leads to the big ones over time. What is something? It seems as though you were on a wellness journey at some point, right? Even mentally, probably physically. But what would you say? What if these two things could speak? What would your body say about the way you treat your mind, and what will your mind say about the way you treat your body?
Mm. I think my body would be more appreciative of the way I treat my mind than the opposite. I think I probably do take more care of my mind than my body. Um, yeah, I don't know if that comes from what just jumped off my mind is maybe that you know I believe in the spirit. I believe in the spirit and that this is a vessel and that's a vessel. Like I'm a spiritual being in inside this vessel, and I think I don't honor the vessel enough. You know, I honor the spirit more than the body.
I feel that. Damn, man, I'm just bugging out on the fact that we have a lot in common. But okay, so what was another question I wanted to ask? As an artist, what do you do for art?
I sing. I'm right.
Dope, dope. Singer, writer, writing is very powerful. As you can see, I'm a writer myself. And do you feel like you have to attach your art to some type of social issue, or do you just create just to create?
I create just to create. That's also something that I think I struggle with. I'm 26, and when I was younger, when I was like 19, 18, 19, 20, 17, I was a lot more like politically involved and a lot more like politically driven and a little punk skater kid in New York and was going to every protest possible, living in protest parks, getting arrested and all that. And I think I hit a little bit of a wall in like just really questioning what my impact was, you know, and like I so I wouldn't say my music is like necessarily like charged by a desire for change. I have a deep desire for change, but I also firmly believe that like, you know, that's every day. That's how That's how I show up in the world to be revolutionary. Like the love that I give, and the acceptance of anybody and others, and just like planting those small seeds and like very community based, you know, and God willing, one day I'll have a platform to make a bigger impact. And yeah, I think about it a lot.
That's dope, bro. At least you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I, this is profound because it just a week ago, for the first time ever, I went to a group session for foster kids, right? Maybe from, I don't know, age 10 to 15, 16, 17. And one of the things that they did while I was walking in, they were standing in a semicircle. This guy who was leading the class said, all right, stand on this side of the room if you'd prefer to do what you love and nobody knows who you are for it, right? Stand on this side if you want to make an impact, or if you don't want to make an impact but just be very famous for what you do. And the room split, and I was just watching everybody make their choice, and I was like, can I offer you something at the end? And for the crowd that decided to be famous for something, right, I was like, I believe that doing something, whether people know you are doing it or not, as long as it's making an impact, will make you beloved and famous. As long as you're following your heart and doing something that's making an impact to people in general, you can't help but be loved for it. It's not even your choice. It's up to the universe. So follow whatever that feeling in your chest is, and you will make an impact. So kudos to you for doing just that, bro. Hell yeah. Doc, that was it. I literally just want to have a small chat, bro. Thank you for coming over and chatting with me, bro. Appreciate you, Luke.
Yeah, can I find you anywhere?
Yeah, you look fine. It'll be just the letter U _ look fine, as in one word.